Hello, I'm George from MBI Hockey.
I'm Jeff, and I don't have a creative intro today.
I'm Jack, and I never have a creative intro.
And you're listening to Triple Shift, episode number 6, I think. I don't know, something like that. I think we tied the Buffalo Sabres in wins with our podcast episodes today. So that's cool. So I guess we can jump right into Buffalo, actually. They finally fired Ralph Kurger about a year and a half too late. Obviously, that experiment didn't go very well. People had high expectations on him after the World Cup a couple years ago, because reading into 3 games in a national tournament is a really good idea. And he wasn't a good head coach, but obviously Buffalo's problems are a lot more systemic than just a single coach, and they're riding a 14-game losing streak right now. What do we think about the Sabres?
Pretty bad. I mean, Kurger was a big problem. I hated the way he played Dahlin like a third pairing enforcer defenseman, and then the way that he would just plug Skinner in the bottom 6. It just didn't work. He didn't utilize the things he had around him, which I just think it's better for Buffalo. And they've never had like big breaks off during the shortened season. They've always been playing like one night break, then they have a game the next day. So when they're in a slump like that, you just keep rolling in it, and just looks terrible right now.
Yeah, it's good that they fired him, but like you said, there's obviously some stuff that still needs fixing because they're the Buffalo Sabres and the organization is run terribly and the players aren't performing. There's so many other issues that I read about it. The players actually liked Kruger at the beginning, for the most part. I mean, they said that he came in and like commanded the room and stuff like that. But I mean, after a while, it just seemed like his message got stale, and he was, like Jack said, not utilizing what he had around him. He didn't use Dahlin in a role where he could progress or develop well. I mean, the guy is an absolute stud defenseman, and you're using him in a third pairing role. Like, what are you doing? Same thing with Jeff Skinner. I mean, not playing him with Eichel and moving him down the line constantly until you scratch him, like, it just doesn't make any sense. So it's good that they fired him, but there's obviously still more issues to fix.
Yeah, I mean, if you obviously there's the 14-game losing streak there, which everybody's talking about, which could be extended to 15. I think they're played tonight, or tomorrow, whatever. But in the last 20 games since the post their COVID break, the team is 2-16-2. They've been outscored 74-34. And they have a winning percentage of, winning percentage throughout the season of .267, which is actually lower than what their winning percentage was in 14-15 when they were actually trying to lose games pre-Jack Eichel. So, like, the fact that this team over the last 20 games is scoring less than 2 goals a game is an issue, especially in an offensive league like the NHL is today. And it's like, especially when you go out and you sign somebody like a Taylor Hall, and obviously you pay Jeff Skinner as much as you pay Jeff Skinner, you need offense. And playing Jeff Skinner on, I get benching him for like a game to kind of reset him and send the message, but benching him for like 4 or 5 games and then throwing him on the fourth line isn't going to like spark anything. And you're never going to get $9 million Jeff Skinner, but you can probably get Jeff Skinner back up to like a $4 or $5 million player. And that's what they have to focus on doing. And I honestly, especially with Eichel out, like, I'd be playing Skinner as my number 1 guy right now. I'd just be like, all right, you know what? We have you on this team now. Let's just ride it out, and let's try to make the best of this. Maybe we can turn you into a $5 million second line winger who can be productive and get us, 20, 25 goals a season. But it's poor asset management, and that's just kind of been the MO in Buffalo forever. We went over it a couple episodes ago. But again, I think the biggest issue in Buffalo right now is the Pagulas, and just the total lack of management that they've shown. The inability to hire a good hockey ops guy, the continuation of bringing in GMs who are just going to be puppets for them and, kind of do whatever they want, and the lack of an experienced head coach. Like they had Phil Housley, and then they went to Ralph Kruger, and it's just guys who've never had like prominent NHL experience. And like I know Bruce Boudreau is going to cost a lot, but he's one of the few guys who actually said, "Hey, I want to be here. I'd do whatever I can to bring him in," because getting somebody who actually knows how to coach the NHL for a team like this is vital. And honestly, like Buffalo should probably just tear this thing apart in the offseason. But I don't see NHL, so that probably won't happen. But at this point, the team's just a mess, like from top to bottom. I guess we can transition from one dumpster fire to one that less people are talking about. But Erik Karlsson called them out about a week ago, and that's the San Jose Sharks, who have been equally disappointing the last 2 years. So, where do we see the Sharks as of right now?
Dumpster fire. I mean, there's not much to it. Like, they have all those guys signed to huge deals with lots of term. I remember seeing that thing float around on Twitter that like they combined for 1.3 wins above replacement, and they still have however many years left. Just it's not looking good at all. They have a good prospect pool, but how are you going to be paying 5 or 6 guys $41 million and not have them do anything for you?
Yeah, I'd just like to point out that you guys did great Jack Edwards impression right there with the dumpster fire rhetoric.
That was great.
But
I don't like Jack Edwards, but that was great. Like, that was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And warranted, and I don't have a problem with it.
It was needed for sure. But yeah, I mean, like Jack said, they're not good. Their prospect pool is fine. It's not best in the world. It's not even close to the worst in the world. But these deals where they have they've got, sure for 8 until 2026, 27. You've got Kane until 25, 26 at $7 million.
Aren't they getting out of the Kane deal with bankruptcy or whatever?
Yeah,
I think they might get out of it. That'd be a blessing for them.
It would actually. They have all these massive deals, which I can understand at the time if they were when they were contending. I can understand signing these guys for a while, but Karlsson at 11.5 is absolutely horrendous. Everybody knows that. They have Burns until until 24, 25 at 8. He's 36. It's crazy. I could just go on and on. Martin Jones at 5.75 until 23, 24. It's ridiculous. The management. Cap-wise, I can understand if they were contending, but they're not. So all these contracts make it look really way worse than it is. And it also doesn't help that they need to rebuild. If you don't have the cap space, then you're kind of screwed until you can get some leeway. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, even if you look at Martin Jones, I think he has an 880 save percentage this year, which isn't good, and Dubnyk's not much better. And they have Martin Jones signed for another 3 years. It's just these absolutely just mind-boggling deals. And Erik Karlsson called them out, being like, "Oh, I didn't sign here to tank," but you haven't been very good either. Erik Karlsson sucked this year, and it's like that throughout the lineup. Guys like Couture aren't producing. Kane's been disappointing. Brent Burns has been fine, I guess, but not worth his cap hit. And this whole team is filled with these bad contracts. Marc-Edouard Vlasic you can throw in there, and you're not gonna be able to move any of them because of the flat cap. And maybe the NHL will throw you a bone and give you a a complimentary buyout, which I think they should. But even then, you get rid of one of those contracts. You remove Marc-Edouard Vlasic from the picture. It's not that much better of a situation in San Jose. And like you said, their prospect pool is fine. It's not like anything great. And I mean, they probably would like to have that first round pick they gave up to Ottawa back. But it's just another team that just kind of went all in and didn't have a backup plan, and then the wheels fell off, and they have never been able to recover. And it's kind of disappointing because San Jose, especially in their prime, was a really fun team to watch, and they just are a mess right now, and they don't seem to have much of a direction. And especially with the flat cap, there isn't much they'll be able to do to get out of it. It's kind of, we just got to ride out these contracts for the next 3-4 years, and then hope for the best. I mean, the new draft lottery system isn't going to help them either. So it's really not a great picture in San Jose. I don't think it's as bad as somewhere like Buffalo is, but at least Buffalo has Jack Eichel that they can move. So I guess it depends on how you look at that.
Have John Leonard or whatever, whoever I mean, hey,
something, I guess.
All the Sharks fans, my Sharks Twitter, like, I follow a couple Sharks people on Twitter, and that is literally all my feed. It's just like the Sharks fans are just raving about their beloved Sharks prospect.
Yes,
the Sharks. Sorry, Scott Wheeler had them as the 22nd best prospect pool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not, especially for a team that's in as much of a mess as they are. 22nd isn't good. Like, you look at a team like Ottawa, who sucks right now, and their prospect pool is great. It's not a good look, and especially when you go all in like that, and it failed. Simple as that. I guess we can talk about another team that's kind of a mess right now, and that's the New York Rangers. And the funny thing, when Quinn went into COVID protocol and missed the game against the Flyers, they had to call up head coach the Hartford Wolfpack, and then like their assistant GM was a coach on the staff, and they beat the crap out of Philly 9-0. And obviously Rangers Twitter freaked out and is like, well, it's time to fire Quinn. But he's definitely been like an issue in New York. But I mean, the team in general is just not playing very good. Where are we sitting on the Rangers right now, and how close are they to competing, do we think?
It's the same kind of thing that he isn't really utilizing the guys he has around him. Like, I definitely think Kakko should be playing in a top 6 role and first unit power play. Like, I don't see how else he's going to develop. He had 2 goals playing on top line with Panarin, and it just terrible management. They need, I just don't even know where to start. Like, they have a good prospect pool, so 2 to 3, 4 years they'll probably be contending, which is a good sign. But they just need to make sure their guys develop, like Lafreniere and Kakko, and they want Fox to continue on the path that he was on. And that's about
Fox
it.
Is great. I love Adam Fox.
He's a top 15 defenseman. Like,
he's fantastic.
he could get he'll get top 10 probably by the end of the year if he keeps playing on the path that he is now. But fantastic defenseman.
Yeah, I don't like what Quinn's doing with the roster. I don't blame Rangers fans at all for wanting him fired. I mean, Kakko is an extremely talented forward. I mean, he had 22 goals in Liga in 45 games. He had 38 points, and he was a point per game in the playoffs, 5-5 with 4 goals. And he played really well at the World Juniors in his draft year too. He had 5 and 7. I mean, he's just too good a goal scorer to be playing in the checking role. I mean, he's looked fine down there, and he's obviously improved from his horrendous year last year, but I'm not a fan of playing somebody who's extremely skilled in a role that doesn't suit them. The same thing with, Lafreniere is getting much more of a chance than Kakko is, in my opinion. He's been playing with top 6 guys. He's had his slides with Panarin and Zibanejad and Strome and Kreider and all them. I mean, he's looked good. I think if he was scoring, if he wasn't getting unlucky and shooting at an ungodly shooting percentage, I don't know the exact number, but it's not good. I think he'd be in the conversation for the Calder. I don't think he'd be in the lead because, I mean, Kirill Kaprizov's absolutely killing it. But I mean, he's playing really well, and I don't think the raw numbers speak everything. But yeah, I mean, Vitaly Kravtsov's coming over. I think he's actually already here. I think I saw a video of him practicing with the team today. But yeah, I mean, they have a great prospect pool and they've got a lot to look forward to. But there's still some big problems with the lineup and how some guys are performing. It is good to see, however, that Mika Zibanejad looks to be back. That's a good sign.
Yeah, currently, according to our friends at Daily Faceoff, Lafreniere, Cheadle, and I think it's Cheadle, and Kakko are the third line for the New York Rangers. There you go, close enough. The third line for the New York Rangers as of today. So, really getting a lot of use out of those young kids, playing them in the bottom six role. And the Rangers, I think, are an interesting team because obviously everybody's talking about them because of the prospects, and they seem to be like a really bipolar analytics team because they have Adam Fox and Jack Johnson on the same team. I guess Johnson's just placed on waivers, but it's like I don't know. I don't fully believe in the Rangers management team, and especially the coaching staff, and I think that's something that's going to hold them back, even if as they start to improve. But I think people were a little high on the Rangers going into this season. I still think they're probably another season away from being like a really good team. Like give Lafreniere another year in the NHL, give Kakko another year in the NHL. Even Adam Fox, who I think could develop into that top 10 NHL defenseman as of probably by the end of next season. But I think like this team's too talented to be bad for a while. But they're going to be in a tough Metro division as well. I mean, Carolina's not going away. The Islanders don't look like they're going away. Philly's going to be Philly. Who knows what happens in Pittsburgh? Like, there's a lot of other variables that'll go into this team's success, and they need to kind of, I think, stabilize themselves. And we talked about it with Buffalo and in how the organizational stability is going to be a key factor, and you don't want to see another Buffalo happen here where they just have a lot of talented players and just can't do anything with it. So, I think they're a fascinating team, but as of right now, I still think they're probably another year away from being real competitors. But it is good to see guys like Mika starting to turn it around, and then people overrate him and call him a top 15 center again. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, they have some really nice pieces. I really like some of the things they've done. I've not liked some of the things they've done. They're just kind of like in that middle ground for me. And obviously, they got really lucky with the draft lottery twice. So, people read into that what they want. But
I think they contend in 2022-23. That's my guess.
I'm in the same boat.
You mentioned the Pens. The league's about to explode when they draft Connor Bedard first overall. It's not going to be fun to see that. You just know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they'll miss the playoffs by about 2 points, and then or what's the new drop? They have to drop 10 spots, right? I think is the new rule.
Yeah, 10 spots is the max.
Yeah, so they'll get that 10th spot and then magically land Bedard, and then he'll live in Sidney Crosby's basement for a couple years, and it'll be great.
Yeah, another Crosby Cup probably.
It'll be history repeating itself. And then Crosby
so excited
owner of the Penguins years down the line.
Yeah.
So we can move over to the West Coast now. We had a bit of news there where the LA Kings locked up their number one defenseman to a contract extension with Matt Roy. So obviously, I know we all love Matt, but we can kind of dive into him a little bit here. And he's better than Drew Doughty.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Drew Doughty. I made a post on it saying he's the best Kings defenseman. Got some backlash by some random old big hitting lovers, I guess you could say. And he's a fantastic defenseman, probably ideally like a number 2 behind a true number 1. But definitely think he's a guy that can stay there during the rebuild and hopefully have his last few prime years when they have Byfield, Turcotte, all those guys coming up.
Yeah, I absolutely love Matt Roy. For a while there, I'm going to admit, I thought his last name was Wah because Wah it rolls off the tongue better.
Just not
And
French
it's more
Canadian.
fun. Yeah, fun anyway. So, but yeah, no, Matt, I love him a lot. He does those defensemen that does everything really well. But he's not going to wow you, but he's a guy that you can trust towards the end of the game. He is a good gap. He's good with his stick. He doesn't lose his place in the defensive zone most of the time. Sometimes, as any defenseman does, they can get sidetracked. But yeah, he's looked really good so far for the Kings, and I'm glad that they re-signed him. He's a fun guy to watch, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him.
Yeah, just a couple numbers on Matt. I was supposed to say Matt Wall. Matt Roy. He even strength wise, he's actually first in points among Kings defensemen this year by 1, which just speaks to how many points Drew Doughty's getting based on power play.
Secondary assist as well. Yeah.
But he's also first in RAPM goals per 60 plus minus, and in RAPM expected goals per 60 plus minus on the Kings. So it's like he's pretty clearly their number one defenseman. And if you just watch, I've watched a couple Kings games this year, and he's stood out to me. I guess the power play points are what get the mainstream attention for Doughty, but I mean, I think if they were to give him a bigger role on the team, make him play him like the number one defenseman, I think he could be a really effective player next year if they make that move. Now, whether the Kings will do that for financial reasons or marketability, whatever, probably not. But I'm a huge fan of Matt Roy, and he's just entering his prime now. Obviously, he was an older rookie when he entered the league, but I'm really excited to see what happens during this contract. And I think if they play him right, he can be a really effective player. Maybe not as a true number one, but as a really good number two option, alongside a solid number one defenseman. So I guess we can transition into our game for the week. Hopefully, it doesn't take an hour and a half.
Oh, well, it won't.
Yeah, we're not gonna have any more games like that where there's no time restraint on them. But yeah, I guess we can move into that. So Jack created something for us here, so I'll let him explain what we're gonna do.
Just a random questions I found, and I thought it would be interesting to see how much these guys know. Just the most, there's no theme. It's just the most random things you could ever think of. And so one person will get the opportunity to go. I'll give 3 or 4 answers, and then if they get it wrong, the other person can steal, and just how it goes. So I guess just pick a number between 1 and 10 to see who goes first.
7.
5.
It was 8, so.
Let's go.
Crap.
Okay, so
Already won nothing.
Okay, first question here. Who was the first NHL team to win back-to-back Stanley Cup? Was it the Vancouver Millionaires, the original Senators, the Rangers, or the Canadiens?
I'm pretty sure it was the original Senators.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Question 2. In 1993, Chris Draper was traded to the Wings for what? $10,000, $100, $1 million, or $1? To you, Jeff.
I remember reading something about this, but I don't even know if this is right or not. I'm gonna go $100.
No, it
You're
was
wrong.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my second guess.
Yeah, $1 man. Didn't he play I think he played 1,000 games too.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
It was the cap-strapped Winnipeg Jets that traded him for $1.
So, how many times did Mario Lemieux score 8 points in one game? He holds the record for most times done it.
Oh man.
Once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times?
Yeah, it's me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah. Correct.
All right.
What?
Gretzky only did it
2-0,
twice.
baby. Let's go.
3
I'm totally gonna lose
I
this.
guess it's 3-0.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess I stole that one. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay, so which number 1 overall pick refused to play with the Quebec Nordiques?
Oh, come on.
Owen Nolan, Matt Sundin, or Eric Lindros?
Can you repeat the question?
Are you serious?
Which number 1 overall pick refused to play with the Quebec Nordiques? Owen Nolan, Eric Lindros, or Matt Sundin?
You shouldn't even get it.
Okay, it's Lindros.
Yeah.
Nonsense question.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was Teemu Selanne's nickname? The Finisher, the Flying Finn, or the Finnish Flash?
You've got to be kidding me.
Let's go to the Lindros question. Give me a break. It's
These are just
the
my
third one.
easy questions.
It's the third one.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that's
Okay.
4-1.
Okay, so here we go. Who was the first player to win the Kelly Cup for the ECHL, the Calder Cup, the AHL, and the Stanley Cup, the NHL? Jay Beagle, Brett Connolly, Ryan Reeves, Evander Kane.
What?
I don't even.
So there's 3 trophies: ECHL, Calder Cup,
Yeah.
Stanley
Yeah,
Cup.
no,
So
I
who
just never
won
heard of
the first
one.
player to win all 3?
Or the players again? The options?
Brett Connolly, Ryan Reeves, Jay Beagle, Evander Kane.
Jay Beagle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How'd you know that? Well, it's not Evander Kane. You just won the Stanley Cup, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Okay.
So it's 4-2.
Yes,
I
sir.
think? Okay, I'm gonna keep track of this. This might actually win a game here.
Okay.
So this is important.
Who was the first player of the 2019 draft to record a point? Kako, Doc, Hughes, or Heniola?
Oh man. Well, it wasn't Hanola. I don't think it was Hanola. I'm gonna go with Kako.
Wrong. Jeff?
Doc.
Wrong.
No, it was Hanola, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Son of a-
Yeah.
Okay, so this question's a little weird, but how many goalies played for Vancouver between Kirk McLean leaving in 1998 and Bobby Lou coming in 2006? 12, 8, 23, or 18? Jeff.
Dude, what?
Just the most random question.
So hold on,
I'm
is that
gonna
like
go-
goalies that have played a game or like start like?
Between Kirk
any
McLean
goal
leaving
that's
in 98 and Bobby Lou coming in 2006.
Okay,
I'm gonna guess 18.
Yep.
that's wild.
Oh my god, actually?
Yeah.
That's actually
Holy crap. Alright.
So many goalies, jeez. Okay, so how many shorthanded goals did the Predators allow in 2013, 2014?
Oh, God.
38, 7, 0, or 30, or 22?
Oh, it can't be 30. There's no way. Shorthanded goals. There's no way it's 38.
Nashville Predators.
Yeah, great
Dude,
defense.
I don't even know this.
Elite defensive team, Nashville Predators at 13-14. What do you
Yeah.
think? I feel like 0 would be pretty impressive at this point. I'm gonna go 0.
You're right. They tied the record,
Yeah.
or they beat,
Well,
had the
tied-
record.
Yeah, tied the record.
That was gonna be my guess. That's such a okay. That's so like small. Like I don't even like. I'm sure that was mentioned somewhere on a
I mean,
broadcast
that's pretty impressive,
that I
like,
watched.
They definitely.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure that was mentioned somewhere, but I just went in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, the Nashville Predators fan didn't know. That's makes me
Yeah.
forget about myself.
Okay, so who was the first player to get exceptional status in the CHL? Patrick Kane, Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, or John Tavares? Jeff.
I know
I mean, Can you repeat the players again?
Patrick Kane,
Kane, Tavares,
McDavid,
who?
Crosby.
Tavares.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild that Sidney Crosby didn't get exceptional status
I know.
in the CHL.
Yeah.
They even have that back then? I don't even
I
know.
think they did.
I don't know.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
not. I don't know. It's just
mean,
Tavares and
Sean Day got it, so.
Did he? I thought it was
Yeah.
just Tavares and McDavid, and then
Sean Day. Joe Valeno too.
Really? Joe,
Wasn't
Yeah.
Sean Day supposed to be like really good?
we're just giving it to everybody now.
Yeah.
Joe Valeno got exceptional status in the CHL, but Sidney Crosby.
And then
didn't.
he like
That's wild.
he fell in his draft too. He like fell to 30 or something.
Yeah, Detroit snagged. I think it was like 28th or something. Detroit snagged him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What a world we
They-
live in. Joe
yeah.
Valeno, exceptional status. Okay.
I mean Sean Day too, but
Whatever.
okay. In their franchise history, how many playoff appearances did the Atlanta Thrashers have? 2, 0, 1, or 4?
So this is like pre-Winnipeg, right?
Yeah,
It was
just
one.
the
They lost
Thrashers.
4-0 to the Rangers.
Yeah.
And then they lost 4-0 to the Ducks. Their first, they were 0-8 to start their franchise history in postseason. And then they went to the third round of the
Great.
playoffs. That's a
Okay.
fun little fact for you.
Okay, here we go. How old was Bobby Orr when he scored the OT Cup winning goal, like the famous diving? 29, 19, 23, or 22?
Yeah, I'm thinking here.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the year that was. Oh crap. Is it? I'm stuck on 2. Can you say the answers again?
29, 19, 23, and 22.
I guess 23.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't think that was right, but
22 then.
Yep.
uh,
Poor Jeff. man.
frustrating.
I guess you beat me once in a game. We're gonna make a scoreboard at some point. Post it on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram.
I'm
I don't
first,
think I've ever
by the
mentioned
way.
that. At Triple Shift Pod on Instagram.
Yeah, do that.
So plug that
Gotta plug it.
and subscribe
Always
on YouTube
plug.
as well. It's gonna throw it all out there. Maybe like a Patreon one day too. You can subscribe to that. Randomly.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, people
Listen to
enjoy
each other.
listening to us and stuff that much.
Spotify isn't supporting us as much. We made like 123 or something like that.
Dude,
Was that
that's
from
a lot.
Apple?
I think that was just in general.
Oh,
That's a lot. That's a lot.
so we're just yeah, okay.
I haven't looked at
Try to buy
let's
some
just-
paper or something like that. Buy a stick of gum. Hell yeah, man.
Alright.
Okay, here we go. Question 13. What is the most points Sidney Crosby scored in a season? 111, 113, 123, or 120?
Well, the number that popped into my head was 110 immediately, and you didn't list that at all, so kind of threw that off. What were the last two again? The ones in the 20s?
123 and 120?
Okay. I'll go 123.
No.
It's 120.
Yep.
Comeback starting up.
Okay.
7-5.
It's the one I'm really confident about.
Yeah?
7-5.
Okay, so
Yeah.
next question. Which one of the following players won the Calder Trophy?
Oh.
Sidney Crosby, John Tavares, Eric Lindros, or Luke Robitaille?
Those are like such like random players.
They're all of them are like all-time greats.
I know one of them.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure
but, like-
didn't, but I don't know about the other three.
Uh,
Like one of them, it's fairly obvious did not,
Yeah.
and the other three are. I don't know. I
Questionable.
mean, it's Jeff's anyway, so he's gonna take a guess. And I'm gonna have a 50
See, I know Crosby
He
didn't.
gets it wrong. No, it wasn't Crosby.
Yeah.
It was
Shut
Overall.
up. Crosby didn't. Did. Oh crap. Shoot. See, like, Obitai's throwing me, man. I think Tavares did. And I'm like 94% sure that I'm gonna go with Robitaille just because he's the weird option. And he's the one I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Of course, it's the one I'm struggling with. There we go. Yeah.
Who won it over? Do you know who won it over Lindros?
Nah, I actually
No
don't.
clue.
I just saw they didn't win one. I'm actually like, okay. Probably some random guy.
7-6. Here we go.
Oh boy. I have to create a question if Okay, so what was Phil Esposito's nickname?
Oh my god.
The Thinker, the Special Agent, or the Slot Machine?
What? Those are all terrible nicknames, by the way.
Oh, I know. Pretty bad when I saw it.
I think it was the slot machine, actually.
It was.
Wow, look at that.
Probably one of the worst nicknames I've ever heard for a hockey player, but here we are.
I just looked it up, and according to Hockey Reference, Teemu Solani won it.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Okay, that makes sense. 76
Yeah,
goals. Well, that's the end of the quiz.
What was Teemu Solani's expected goals for percentage that year? I want to know.
Jeff,
I don't know. It was 92-93, so I'm sure it was pretty high.
Jeff, you probably know though, right?
What's that?
You know?
Do I know what?
You know the answer to that.
I'm gonna guess. I you know what? If I was being honest, I'd probably guess somewhere around 70%. To be honest, I mean, it was for analytics, so I
have no idea how good defensively he was that year, but yeah, I'd probably say somewhere around 70%. Score 76 goals, like it's probably like he probably could be like average defensively and still be like 70%.
According to Hockey Reference's point shares, he had 1.3. So I don't know if that's good or bad because I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who thinks point shares are reliable?
I don't even know how they count his point shares.
There's so many people that actually use point shares to prove points.
The podcast doesn't know what point shares is. That's great. You know what I found out yesterday? Actually, I didn't even know this, and I'm really embarrassed that I didn't. Plus minus does not factor in power play goals.
Well, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I learned that yesterday because I was arguing with some guy on the internet about plus minus, and I was like, "Oh, doesn't use."
Why are you arguing about plus minus? You're on an analytics podcast, and you're arguing about plus minus in your free time.
I like to feel pain inside.
To be fair, I used time on ice and plus minus to prove why Jake Muzzin isn't better than Matthias Ekholm. Yeah.
It's very disappointed. Anyway.
No, don't be disappointed in me. Gross. There was going to be some casual that came into my mentions, started yelling at me because I didn't do their time on ice.
Just even mentioning those things is just disgraceful. You shouldn't even be on the podcast anymore.
Yeah,
you just shouldn't even be on the podcast anymore.
Off this podcast. We'll bring on somebody else. We'll bring on Jonah. Get him in here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I guess we can get out of here. Yeah, like I said, make sure to rate us on Apple Podcasts as well, because that does help with the traffic. I think we're like 198th in hockey podcasts on Apple right now.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty.
It is to Above Talking Hockey's podcast.
Yeah,
it'll mean the world.
Honestly, the fact that like we've released 5 episodes and we're in the top 200 for hockey podcasts is incredible. So seriously, thank you guys for listening. But yeah, make sure you rate it 5 stars on Apple. Go on YouTube, like the videos. I don't expect us to get a lot of traffic there, but that is an option. We're on everything, Spotify. I think we're on iHeartRadio now. I don't know. They take forever to respond. Google Podcasts. There's a whole bunch. Like the links in the bio on Instagram. Follow the Instagram too. We're almost at 100 followers on the the Triple Shift Podcast Instagram.
Yeah, we're at like 96 or something.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support. It's really cool that this is kind of blown up. I think we're averaging like 50 listeners an episode, which is
60, but
insane, something like that. Yeah. Sorry, like.
I just needed to, you know.
But yeah, so we can get out of here if you guys want to let us know where to find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram at NHL_analysis_. Right for Last Word on Sports. And I also write for the Hockey Writers. I'm their Preds writer. I also have a Substack. I don't post on there anymore just because I got the other 2 writing gigs, but I have some stuff on there if you want to check it out. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Well, I keep it short all the time. My name's Jack, and you can find me at Puck Analytics on Instagram.
Yeah,
Jack.
I have a MySpace. You guys can go follow me there. I don't post on it anymore, but you guys can go follow me. I also have a Vine account. You guys can check it out there.
I'm gonna be looking that up. I'm gonna be looking that up. After.
Go watch my Vine.
You guys can go check out my high score on Flappy Bird.
Yes, and it's MVI Hockey on Instagram and Twitter. Actually, I think the Twitter is now Nothing But Iron 1 on Twitter. I had to change it for some reason, but
yeah, you just had to make it harder for yourself.
Yeah, MBI Hockey on Instagram, and the link's in my bio. You can figure it out from there. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.